In this episode of OG55, this is part 2 of our South Korean series. We are joined by Lucas Kim. We're learning all about South Korea today. We're talking about the food, the street markets. We're even gonna dip into some Lunar New Year stuff at DCA that does relate to Korea. We're gonna talk about that up next here on OG55. Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of OG55. Today, we are traveling all the way to South Korea to learn more about the food and all kinds of stuff. We are joined by the one and only Mr. Lucas Kim. Lucas, welcome back on the show, brother. How you doing?
Thanks for inviting me again. My name is Lucas Kim, for those who do not know me. And you can also find me on X. It's Lucas Kim. And also you can also find me on Lucas and Disney on YouTube channel.
There he is. Make sure you follow him, subscribe to him. I'll be linking his stuff in the description down below. Mr. Italiano, it's been a long time, dude. How you been?
It's been a while. Yeah, doing good. Yeah, looking forward to it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to join in on part 1, but definitely very excited to join in on part 2 and learn some Korean culture.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So first thing we're gonna do, actually, we're gonna watch this video. And we're going to react to it along the way, kind of similar to what we do here on the channel when we do, our fresh baked reactions or our DSNY or our Hey Bricky reactions. But we are reacting to Korean street food. Is that Sinpo International Market? Lucas, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, basically in an English version, it would be Sinpo International Market. If it was Korean, it'd be Sinpo.
Shinpu. Okay, cool. Very, very cool. All right, here we go. We're going to play the video. And George, if you have any questions along the way, by all means, and Lucas, anything you want to add to this while we're watching, please, by all means, just say, hey, OG, pause it, and I'll go ahead and pause it.
Sure.
All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah. That's real good.
Oh, actually... Now, these right here, give me one second. Okay, so my ex-girlfriend, she wasn't Korean, she was Vietnamese, but she would have, her family would have these, they were kind of similar to this, Lucas, or they were like, but they were, they had like, is it bean paste, red bean paste inside? Is that what these are?
Yeah, so obviously, this is originally Japanese, delicacy that they usually do. It's with a red bean paste inside. They're known as taiyaki in Japan. Okay. And then the Korean and Vietnamese eventually inherited that type of a delicacy. It's called bungeoppang. Basically, fish bread is basically what the translation usually means.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and, Abby introduced me to that as well. I tried it with the red bean
paste
inside.
Yeah, you can probably find it in some local H Mart or even I don't know. I think California has a Japanese supermarket called Mitsuwa.
Yes.
They usually have like a little food corner right there, and then they sell taiyakis over there. You can definitely try them whenever you stop by there. I don't know if either of you are into like the red bean paste or anything like that, but for South Korean and Japan, red bean is actually considered as a very healthy snack for a lot of us.
Nice. Yeah, we have that Japanese market actually. I live maybe 5 miles from one. How do you pronounce it?
Mitsuwa. Yeah.
Mitsuwa. Yes.
Let's hit the road with Stephen Young from Paris to Tokyo.
Okay, I know you've heard a lot about Gwangjang Market over in Incheon. Well, Gwangjang Market is not the only market in Korea. Sinpo Market, that's where we are right now. This place has actually been open since the late 1800s, and it's known
Wow.
for a lot of different things. And it's just as exciting and just as vibrant as Gwangjang Market. They have amazing culinary cuisine. They have just incredible things. They're known for their sweet fried chicken, which is Korean fried chicken that you like.
Yeah.
Also, there's a bread called gonggapang.
Gungalpang.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. And it's basically it's like a hollow bread.
Do you want to get gungalpang?
We got to try gunggapang while we're here.
No, I'll
because
pause it
gunggapang
right
is
here.
famous here.
Absolutely.
As you can see, it says a 2001 right there. So, 2001 is like really just less than $2. It's about like $1.25 right there for like a hollow bread. And obviously comparing to America, like even the hollow bread costs like what nowadays like $3 or something like that right there.
Yeah. So this is from a few years ago, huh?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Even 2 years ago, like when I was there, like the breads were like half of the price of what I would get like in America. So most of the foreigners who move to South Korea, or like they feel that like they would prefer living in South Korea because of all the foods down there. The prices are like much affordable comparing to like America at this point right now.
Interesting. Yeah, our friend Mr. Seymour Duck has been talking about that. He's really interested in moving to Asia because of that reason, because it's so much more affordable.
Oh yeah.
Gungalpang.
That's what I said.
Gungalpang.
That's what I said. So that's famous here in Sinpo Market. Then also the tteokbokki, which is a traditional
Ooh, I
Korean
wanna have some
snack.
tteokbokki.
Young loves that stuff, so she's definitely going to get some of it. We're going to go in here. We're going to look at some of the culinary offerings, the street foods, the cuisines, and look at this market that's almost 150 years old now.
Wow.
So let's go take a look. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, so greatest thing about the street market is that like they give you all variety of like mixture of foods, all like handmade foods right on that spot. Since the early morning to the end of the evening hours, and they're like so cheap to a point that you're like, oh, like I can just like come over here every day, just eat here and just go back home, and or like do a takeout, and that's pretty much it. You don't even need to go to like any of those like a luxury restaurant or like like a food stop or anything like that. And the food's quality is equally almost as good as if you go inside the restaurant and eat food right over there. So
That's incredible, Lucas. So and you said this is all handmade in the morning.
yeah, so these ladies, we call them ajumma, like the married women, or like like the mid to late age women who work in the morning. Like they start working at like 4 to 5 a.m. and then they start getting all the foods prepped up, and then the moment they open it like early in the morning, they just keep working all the way until the end of the evening, right there.
Wow. And this is a sesame balls, or what is this right here, Lucas? Do you know offhand?
So those are like rice crackers with the sesame seeds on top of it, or sometimes like the fried they dry the rice and then like fry it, and then like put it around the sweet pastries around this, so so you can eat it. That's what it's usually made out of.
Nice. Now, George, have you tried any of this kind of stuff? I know. In PA, you lived in an area that didn't have access to a lot of like cultural foods and stuff. Now you've been in California for about a month. I mean, have you tried any of the sesame stuff, or?
Slowly but surely, I'm trying like different things that are more custom to California, which is a lot of Asian, Mexican influence, kind of foods. I don't know if this particular, it doesn't look familiar. I know I tried a couple different things, but I mean, I don't think it was this specifically.
Okay, all right.
Very scary.
I don't think so. Not yet.
No, catch me.
But actually, this here, this is a very famous, typical Korean snack. They really like that. They fry the rice, and it's really crispy on the outside and very delicate on the inside. It's very tasty.
This is the same concept. It's just
Different shape, different
yeah,
color.
no, this is whole rice.
Uh-huh.
This one is just to make pounding, make it smaller,
Okay.
more fine.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
essentially
same thing.
mochi,
Yeah, you said you're
except
right.
fried mochi.
Oh, interesting.
It's my mom's father's favorite.
Yeah.
Đây không thấy
Wow.
Yeah. All
I
good?
like the pumpkin one even better.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Really good.
Nó mang bọc okay. So soft.
Told you. Very good,
Really
right?
soft. Yeah. Really good.
This is great. You don't need to eat anything. You just come here and you buy all the snacks and you have lunch out of snacks. It's wonderful.
I used to eat this when I was young. All the time, my mother made it. This is corn soup. This is soup.
So okay, so Lucas, this is interesting. So this is bread with it says Korean liquor. Is that rice liquor?
Yeah, so we have a you know how like what is it, sake, like they have a, you know, in Japan the rice wine is called sake, obviously, and then in South Korea we call it makgeolli, based the white looking like a rice wine called makgeolli. That's basically it. A lot of people mix that up with soju all the time. Soju is actually like the vodka version of South Korean drink, but makgeolli is an actual fermented rice wine that we usually drink, and sometimes they use that makgeolli with the bread, and then pour it into the flour and the yeast bread, and then make it into what you're looking at is called surpang. Surpang.
Silpong.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Something I gotta try. That looks really good.
All the time, my mother made it. This is corn soup. This is soup.
And that's a takoyaki.
Takoyaki. Okay, a popular Japanese street food made of wheat flour-based batter filled with octopus, tempura. I'm not sure what that says. It
Tempura scraps, and then
scraps, okay.
pickled ginger, green onions, and cooked it in a special molded pan. So inside there's like a little like an octopus tail inside the breaded like a sphere, and then what they would do is like pour mayonnaise or teriyaki sauce on top of it, and then that's how you would eat it. Takoyaki is a very popular Japanese street food, though. Because it's so popular, even Koreans usually eat over at the street markets.
Okay. Now, George, you eat seafood. We actually had Japanese food yesterday together, George, right? And you got quite a bit of seafood yesterday. I mean, you had, was it sushi? I believe.
I had salmon sushi. Yep.
So you like seafood, and I mean, you're a fan. I mean, would you try this with octopus or?
I do love octopus, actually. My thing is with seafood, I don't know what it is, because I've had, not this specifically, but I had seafood kind of like wrapped in like a pastry kind of thing. I don't know what it is. I love seafood, but I don't like it with any kind of like flour-based concoctions, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Interesting. Why. So like, okay, so thing. Would like fried shrimp bother you because it has like that
no, I could do crust? Like tempura style. It's like when something is like in a thick like breaded.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so like a fish sticks.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, they do it pretty fast.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, that's a pork intestine and liver right there.
Oh wow.
Like a steamed liver, and so you know how, like, you know, the British people eat like bloody sausage and everything. Koreans have their own like Korean bloody sausage over at the called sundae basically.
Sundae. Okay.
Now, what they do is that they, like, people usually eat soju with sundae and tteokbokki together right there, the spicy rice cake, and then they that's their usual midnight diner is what they would call it right there.
Okay, cool. Now rice cake I've had quite a spicy rice cake I've had quite a bit actually. Really, really good. Have you tried that, George? Spicy rice cake?
I've
Korean?
had rice cake in like the ramen bowls.
Mhm.
Like where it's like on top, like with the egg and the noodles and everything. It's good. I like it. It's not like my all-time favorite thing, but I do like it like mixed in with like the ramen bowls.
Okay. All right.
I've
Cool.
had something Abby had me try. I don't know if it was a blood sausage, but it was blood something. And it was like it was like okay, but like it wasn't like my
Was it Filipino or what? Do you remember where it came from? Like originated from?
I think it was something of Filipino. Yeah.
Okay.
They say you should never know how sausage is made. These are talgona. And the thing about talgona
awesome.
is they became famous because they were featured in Korean soap operas that people are watching all the K-pop operas everywhere. And these are like essentially like a caramel.
K-pop operas?
I'm pretty sure he was referring to Squid Game, the one that I'm currently wearing right now. But kind of ironic that he just like kind of brought it up. But when I was little, when I was in South Korea, every time I got out of the right after school, like there's this one guy like sitting at the gate right there and making dalgona like in front of kids.
Wow.
So, and then whenever we purchased one, it was like a 10 cents per dalgona. It was like basically like a dime for this cookie. And then every time when we get something like special out of that, if there's like a little shape, that bonus shape right there, we get an extra shape dalgona every time when we did that.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, it was a pretty cool thing. But we, you know, like unlike Squid Game, we didn't actually like cut it with the toothpick trying to get like a slice out of the piece, because you know all the what kind of kid, like elementary school kids are gonna like have that type of talent anyways. So
Yeah, that's true. Very, very true.
Really quick, Abby texted me. I'm probably gonna butcher this name, so I apologize. Dinuguan.
Mm.
It's made from pork blood.
Interesting. Okay, I've never had it. You said Dina
Dinuguan. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but
you're probably mispronouncing it, but I mispronounce even English stuff, English words. I'm all over the map. Go ahead, Lucas. I'm sorry.
it's okay. I mean, but yeah, like, have you had any of the dalgona before? I don't know. Like, it's really easy to make, by the way. You use a baking soda and then sugar, and then you like just mix it together, and then that's pretty much simple as it is.
Nice.
With the frying pan. So if you ever want to try it at home, like, you know, just buy a baking soda and sugar, and then use like a light frying pan, and then you put a little vegetable oil on it, and then just mix it together, and you should be
Okay.
able to make one.
Okay, easy enough. Easy enough.
Like a caramel lollipop.
Yeah.
I love these. These are
They have
great.
some interesting designs on it. They
Yeah.
have pictures of lions and cats and pigs. And don't suck it because it's
Yes.
going to make all the design go
Yeah,
away.
you're gonna start the crack is try to keep the shape around it.
Ah,
Yeah, there is more like a plate. Bungapa.
oh, with a little square around it.
Yeah.
On this side is the picture.
Oh,
Culinary and Sinpo.
Oh, wow. That's different.
That's where the
That's a good kind, yeah. That's a good kind of
oh, they're making there.
This place is cool. They have coffee bread. You see a lot of coffee bread in Korea. And here they're making it. It smells good. It tastes good. They're offering samples on the
Yeah,
top.
it's really good.
Then they have Young's favorite over there, kumapang, which are the little fish-shaped donuts. They're
Okay.
usually filled with red bean, but here they're filled with chocolate and they're filled with other things other than red beans. So I actually might think that's good.
Nice.
Bungopang. Chocolate inside.
Yes. Oh, that's really good.
Yeah,
The outside is crispy, almost like a donut.
that's good.
This is tasty. It's a lot like chocolate croissant.
Really, really good.
Bumapang chocolate.
Nah, I have to stop this because I remember I watched both of your video about talking about this the Seoul the what is it, Seoul restaurant in Disney downtown Disney.
Yeah.
And I remember OJ saying that he did not like seaweed. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, he's gonna have a hard time in South Korea if he says that he doesn't like seaweed.
Yeah. Yeah. I might.
Because it's like a 70 to 80% of the foods that they usually make, like such as kimbap or what, or like the bibimbap or anything like that, they always put seaweed in it, and I'm like, oh man, he's gonna like have a really hard time trying to find the good food right there.
That might be true. George, you like seaweed, right? Yeah, I think you snack on the dried seaweed. I think you said,
Yes,
right?
I do love seaweed. I love it I love it with sushi. I love it with I like the dried snacks. So yeah, I do enjoy seaweed.
So you'd be good in South Korea then. I think you'd be okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're doing it on top of the charcoal. Now that's actually tastes way different from what you usually get at like a local market of a seaweed. Like
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so they're roasting it on top of like a charcoal, basically. So the flavor of coming from the charcoal like roasts differently on like even even if it's like a meat or on a barbecue or even on like a seaweed. So the flavors definitely change differently. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So I think George is gonna have like have a wonderful time right there.
There you go, George. You're all set, brother.
Simpang. Simpang 맛있어?
They have a few places in Korea that make fresh tofu. You don't see it a lot in the U.S. In some of the Chinatowns you do. But anyway, here, this guy is making fresh tofu right there in those vats back there. And then he's cutting it and selling it right here up front.
Wow.
Oh, there we go.
These chips are so popular.
I like how George is like zooming in himself.
George is like up close now. Did something strike your fancy, George?
I do. I love sushi. I love nigiri. I love sashimi.
Yeah, so I think you're gonna like it for the fact that the prices like they're selling right up there are probably half the price of what you like usually get in America for even for that size of a plate, like a nigiri.
Oh wow.
Probably like just about $10 just for that plate right there. like I said, these ladies don't really care too much about how much money they really make. They really care about how much food you care about enough to like finish them. So, which is
And
amazing.
my top
Yeah.
three: salmon, red snapper, and yellowtail.
There you go.
They're all right there.
George is booking his flight right now. Seriously, George probably is. That's how George is. He very spontaneous guy.
Stuff, and you see the chips everywhere. But they also have things. They have dried beets. They have shoestring potatoes, and this is like a puffed barley coated in syrup of some kind.
Wow.
That looks like a really nice snack, and it is a really nice snack.
We need to go on a trip, like an OG55 trip to South Korea. Lucas, you could show us around. You recommend certain foods and stuff. That would be so much fun. That would be
Oh
amazing.
yeah, I know that this video is like pretty long, but there are definitely more other foods outside of this right there. So I'm definitely gonna present you like a couple of videos that I sent you. So we're gonna take a look at them. But obviously, like the street market is like one of them. But we also have like a tonkatsu that's like the size of a dining plate, and that's less than $10 of a market food. And
Wow.
and then a couple of other like foods such as like I don't know, have you ever had like a black bean noodles before, the called jjajangmyeon before? I'm pretty
I
sure you've heard
have.
of it. Yeah,
I have.
so the Incheon, I actually went to the Chinatown in Incheon, and that's where they first made jjajangmyeon before, and they have like all of the like professional jjajangmyeon house that has been going like running their business for more than 70 years, and they cost way less than what you would get in LA probably, and taste much better. So you're gonna have a fun time, obviously, but at the same time, some of the foods are gonna be probably nightmare fuel for you because you have a thing against like a seafood. So
Yeah.
here's the thing about South Korea, because we are so close to the surrounding oceans and everything. We're like technically a peninsula land, and in a small area. So getting like beef or like meat itself is a lot more expensive than what you would get a seafood. That's why like we a lot of South Koreans usually get seafood for the delicacy, but most of the other time are usually like vegetable or vegetarian type of stuff, or fermented stuff like such as kimchi, or like soybean paste stews. That's how we usually make our living right there. And then obviously and also eggs is also another thing that we live by. And also, and an interesting thing is like I don't that I do want, if you ever do go, you need to visit like the sauna place, like the one of those like what we call jjimjilbang, like basically you would change your clothes and you go in there and then just like sleep on the like those like heated room like heated sauna rooms, and then the people spend their whole days right there
Sounds
for
good.
one day. Yeah.
That sounds really good. Oh, and by the way, we have a hidden Mickey here for all the Disney people out there. Hidden Mickey right there.
Fairs and festivals nowadays, their pancakes, they're usually filled with something. Often they're filled with red beans. Sometimes we had one that was filled with brown sugar. That was amazing. They have some filled with walnuts.
Yeah.
It's really very tasty snack. Just so you know. I showed you guys before these traditional snacks. They're like a fried rice. They're almost mochi flour inside. They're crispy and delicate inside. These are really tasty. For those of you who know this flavor, you love this flavor. So good. Wonderful snack.
So basically, this is the one they put it in the container like this.
They're making flavored honeys here.
Oh
So
wow.
basically, these are sweeteners. They're
Yes.
they're some
Correct.
kind of a sweetener, and they use that in those candies we just tasted.
Yes.
and they make the sweet rice and things
Yes.
like that. And these are different flavors. You can impart the flavor into the
Correct.
different candies,
Correct.
such as ginseng, cabbage,
Yes.
or just ginger or any other flavor.
Yeah.
That's kind of unique,
Garlic,
isn't it?
even garlic.
Garlic flavored sweets. Now there's something different. Actually, the other day we had a garlic bread that was a sweet garlic bread with cream cheese inside. It was really good.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting flavors.
Wow.
Very interesting. Thank you so much. That's the name of the food. I didn't go back. Okay. I didn't go back. I couldn't see the stuff I know.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
How much is this? 59,000 won. Really good deal. Outlet stores. This is like
Try it.
Um. So yeah, so right around here now, they're probably walking around the corner of like actual fried foods right over there. So you'll probably see a lot of tempura style of fried vegetables and the fried chickens, and then right around the corner they sell also like the what is it, the fish cake soup that you can drink on and then with the fish cake sticks that like they give you with the like the soy sauce together too, and they use people usually like don't spend a lot of money on for lunch. They would just go over to the street market and purchase it over here
Makes sense.
for yeah, and then they probably spend a lot of money on the because they're gonna spend a lot of money on for the dinner, or like they're gonna eat like a big dinner. So usually for South Korean culture, like the lunch is like a kind of like a simple meal right there.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, this is great. This is great food. Like you're working, you're on your lunch break. You come down here, you grab some stuff. It's like the perfect lunchtime offering.
So that's Dongranting is basically ground beef. Sometimes it's a beef or ground pork, depending on like who whatever they whoever's making it is mixed it with like the carrots and like potatoes or like green onions, all mixed in together into one patty. Basically, they call it that. I know that it's basically no different from like a hamburger patty, but there's more vegetable inside one of these like patties basically in South Korea, and the that's why it's called dongrangtang. Basically, they make it into a circle version of it.
Gotcha. So there's other things in that in that beef, like veggies and stuff. It's not just the meat that's in there.
Yeah, they eat like if you're making like a burger out of it, like a lot of South Koreans usually don't have a lot of money, so they cut a lot of like if they're gonna make a beef patty, they would like use half of what the ground beef is, and then they mix it up with whatever the vegetables they can find. So this like culture has been ongoing for many years because we had a very struggle with the whole economic issues and like struggling with a lot of like food shortages and everything. So we would pick anything that we can find and then just like mix it with together. That's how and then this culture has been ongoing for many years to come right there.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, these are the grilled beef and pork patties. And they cook them on the grill And
It's a take the sample.
okay, I got a sample.
Right.
Oh, that's really tasty. That's very, very good.
Yeah. This one is a Shinjino. Thank you. Ooh, look at mango. That's the red bean.
It's soup. Yeah,
This
rice
is
soup.
That's rice soup.
Rice soup with the pumpkin.
Oh,
Rice soup with the red bean. Okay.
Oh, and tteokbokki, of course. There's all kinds of fries. This one for Yusang Bunjik.
is that like char siu?
Okay. Oh my God! Look at the 뽕잎,
It's soup.
뽕잎, 호박, 70년. You can try that.
Yes.
Which one you wanna try?
Which
Try
one?
the
Yeah,
green,
so that's
green one.
this is actually a snack. It's a candy basically. It's made out of rice, and they melt the rice and they turn it into like a sugary like caramel basically. They would, and this is what we used to eat. And now each of the colors has its own different ingredients, such as sweet potato or even like a some cassia seed or like the sesame seed or even like the pumpkin. They mix it with together.
That's interesting. And I mean, based on the ingredients you're telling me, Lucas, I mean, it seems like a healthier option than like American candy for sure, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. They don't even use a artificial sugar. They use a natural sugar, or sometimes they mix it with the honey. So they just like turn it into liquidify, and then that's how they would solidify all this into like how would I say this? It's almost like similar to Turkish delight, as how I would say it. It's almost closer to Turkish delight and caramel in between right there.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
That's the. Let me see that what it. That's the 뽕잎. That's the
Taffy.
백년초.
Not doggy.
No, not 딸기.
Oh no.
이건 당뇨 있는 사람 좋죠.
So guys, if you see this, this is essentially Korean taffy. I've tried it. It's taffy.
Taffy,
It's the same
taffy, exactly.
chewy. It's very chewy. It's actually hard when you first bite into it, and then it softens up. It's good. It's got different flavors. Some you might not be used to.
Yeah, it's definitely
My
Laffy
sister
Taffy.
was,
Yeah.
Find out what's the name of the store. 무연당 엿.
Oh yeah, I went to that place during 2023.
You win here?
Yeah. It's I'm pretty sure this is the only place that sells this too, or on that street market.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been doing that business for over 50 years. When the last time I asked about it, and I'm pretty sure I have not seen anywhere else for that market besides over here. This is like the only place that does this taffy style, and that uses like vegetable ingredients for them.
Okay, that's interesting. So this is really, when you're in South Korea, this is a pretty hard item to come across.
Yeah, but they're also very cheap. So like if you want to grab like a whole bag of them, this is probably the best place to grab, and then take it back with you to America.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, apparently there's all kinds of variations on these sweet, crispy rice cakes. This has like a black sesame
Black
coating on
sesame,
the top.
yeah.
That should be good. Oh yeah, love the black sesame. Yeah.
Look at that. This is so pretty.
Yeah, the coloring on these foods are incredible.
This is the same thing we
Yeah.
saw. That's how sweeten all these cookies. Okay. It's even
Maybe
if,
we can buy them, compare.
no.
This is a real one. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No, we don't need to taste the Shalom
He
bar.
has the best soup dumplings in Philadelphia.
Okay. And
Machi. It was on TV.
So
Those are egg tarts.
egg tarts. I was going to ask
Oh,
you.
I just
is
had
it-
one.
you what? I'm sorry.
He just had one. He said he just had one.
You just had one?
I just had one recently. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I like how they cook it with the flamethrower on the front. It's kind of like a creme brulee kind of style. It's kind of cool.
I was going to say that this place specializes in egg tarts, but they actually have a cinnamon apple pie as well.
Oh, wow.
So, shades of McDonald's.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they don't just only do egg tart. They put like other things inside. I mean,
Wow. Okay, so this was a great video, Lucas. I'm actually going to link hit this channel down below in the description because a phenomenal content. Epicurean Road, I believe, is what the channel is called, but it will be down in the description down below. Now, Lucas, we probably have time for like maybe one or two other videos. Which one should we play for everybody?
I guess like some like I did mention that like 2 years ago I didn't exactly visit Seoul. I
Mhm.
instead visited Incheon, around so they had a new metropolitan city, completely developed for the new generations. And this place is also very expensive to live in now. Well, since Seoul is like overpacked with people, so South Korea government decided to make a new metropolitan city with like, welcoming new foreigners and like new people, like the wealthy people to move over there, basically. So now this place is called Sangdo, and I've actually visited down there, and they have a really big central park. They call it Sangdo Central Park, basically, and uh, they base it off New York City's Manhattan Central. They try to copy Manhattan Central Park, but with a river in between, so that the ferry can like tour around back and forth of how big this park is.
Wow. Beautiful building.
And during this city's urban development, they one of the like a what is a electronic arts video game called Battlefield 2042. They based Songdo's concept and then brought it into their game because they also were very admired by how clean and amazing this city urban city and park is. And now keep in mind, like, this whole park, even if it was like about like 3 year old, I walked around it and not a single trash or like a litter were around the place. They keep this place extremely clean as much as possible for the like the tourists right there. And then
I have
Yes, go ahead.
a quick question for you, Lucas. So I'm glad you brought that up because I've heard the same thing about Japan, where it's very, very clean. Do you think that's because you said that they maintain the park really well, but do you think that that's also maybe like a cultural thing? Is it a cultural thing with South Korea where it's just the people are more respectful? Because out here in America, people throw trash, they don't even care. Is it different out there where there is more of that respect where you don't do that, and so it's a little bit of a different sort of situation, or?
I mean, maybe so, but I mean, we do like you have to keep in mind that anywhere you go, there will be some kind of litter and some like dirty stuff. Like even South Korea has like if you go underneath the subway area, there are some homeless people obviously, and they kind of like litter around the places. But also, when things like that get out of control, South Korea has a control where they take the homeless people or whoever like is causing too much mess. They bring into the local police station prison, try to give them a rehab, and then send them back out once they're um all like the cleanliness control has been managed properly. But we do try to I think South Korea like does try their best to keep the city clean as possible so that the other tourists and including the local people don't feel that they're like the place that they live in is dirty or anything like that. Now also right around the Songdo, there's like a really expensive premium outlet mall, as well as there's also a place called America Town. So for those foreigners who want to live in Songdo, they would live around that area, and they want those people are actually want to keep this area clean because they're going to be jogging and they're going to be shopping, walking around the places. And even if I lived right there, I definitely want to live clean. So anything that we pay for even for taxes or services, I'm pretty sure everything goes through this city. Also, for South Korea, unlike America, we don't like each restaurants and cafes don't have its own bathrooms. It's all like public bathroom that you have to go outside of a restaurant or and within that building, and then you have to share the bathroom with everyone else.
Oh, that's interesting. So in the restaurant, they don't have bathrooms inside the restaurants?
No, they don't. Like maybe for hotel wise, maybe that's the case, but when it comes down to when you're going out in a restaurant, um, and then you suddenly have to go to restaurant for any reason, you have to go outside of the restaurant, you have to go around the corner of these buildings, and then you have to go to like the public restroom, and then you have to share it with everyone else, basically.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. I did not know that. Now, when you were talking about the America Town, it kind of caters to obviously Americans and what have you. So in America Town, it would be like kind of like everything would be like the signage and all that would be like in English. It kind of caters to like the English speaking guests and residents. Is that kind of what the general idea of that area is?
Correct. So local Koreans can't visit that place. They're not even allowed to set a foot into that place. and
Wow.
and then some America Town areas, they have a huge restricted entrance where they make it's like a TSA level of an entrance. So they will check your passport to make sure that you're either American citizen or you're not a Korean citizen, and then they make sure that you have a perfect background checks too. So if you're like a troublemaking, American citizen such as Johnny Somali, for example, then you're not getting into that place right there. Not a single foot. And
Wow.
Songdo is also funded by a lot of other like university outside of America universities, such as like one of them is State University of New York, Stony Brook, right near this they funded a lot of money into Songdo too, so to have their students be an international student around this city area. So, like that's why this Central Park has been so ever popular for a lot of foreigners right there. When I was there, like there were a lot of like Europeans and a lot of Americans that were at the around this area, even in the subway during that time. A lot of college students.
Wow, wow, interesting. Now, has South Korea seen an influx, Lucas, that you're aware of? Since K-pop and K-dramas have become so popular in like Western countries, like has South Korea seen a tourism boost because of that? Do you know offhand or?
Um, I was a TA for Korean language in a university, and before Big Bang and like Wonder Girls and everything, there weren't a lot of big Korean culture boom at the time. So not a lot of students enrolled into Korean language. But once the whole Girls' Generation and Big Bang and Wonder Girl started being popular, people started like enrolling these programs, and then the Korean exchange program has become like tripled, wanting to teach English in South Korea. and
Wow.
and then the talk program basically became so popular that they don't even have a slot to send somebody to Korea anymore, because everyone wants to be an English teacher in South Korea now.
That's
And
incredible.
yeah, so now the requirements become like so tough that like there's like a waiting list, or sometimes like they just can't even fill you in. And then the salary has like cut off by half too, so which makes it a lot harder for English teaching um, teachers to not be able to live for a very long time in South Korea. They end up like moving back to America because they can't make a lot of living out of it.
Wow, wow, interesting.
I have
Now
to
we're
say, even their 7-Elevens look much better than
oh
ours.
yeah,
Like I walk
oh
into a
yeah,
7-Eleven here, it feels like I need a tetanus shot.
yeah. They do. Look at that. Way nicer than the ones out here. Absolutely.
So if you look at on the right there, there's a little to-go window right there where you don't really need to go inside to 7-Eleven to do shopping. You can just like you pick up right there.
That's
But
amazing.
also keep in mind they also I believe maybe I may be this wrong because I didn't really bother visiting 7-Eleven in South Korea because I didn't see any necessity. But unlike America 7-Eleven, Japan 7-Eleven definitely sells panties, but not in like America, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's way nicer than the 7-Elevens we have out here for sure. And George, have you been? I know you've only been I know you've only been a California resident for a month now, but have you been to Koreatown yet? Has Abby taken you over there yet, or no?
I've been. I don't know if it's Koreatown, but it was a section where literally all the buildings were in. I don't know if it was like Chinese or Japanese. Like all the
Okay,
signage, everything was. So I don't know if it was Korean town or if it was another
Koreatown.
section.
Don't
Okay.
worry. In order to figure that out, just like look at like a squares and circles for language shapes. Then it's definitely Korean.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. If there's a lot of squares and circles, George, it's
Um,
Korean. Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
But I've never been to Koreatown either when I visited LA. So that's another thing too. Like I don't think I visited anything at all when I was in California. All I know is that like I was just in the Anaheim Convention Center, and then I just got back out, and then I just like kind of like sat down on the plane and then like thinking very hardly. I'm like, I never really like spent anywhere during that whole weekend, did I? That was like my whole thinking right there.
Next time you're down here, we'll George and I will take you around for sure. Absolutely. Now we'll have to do a part 3 on this, Lucas, because we're already up to an hour now. So we'll do another part of this South Korean series, and we'll get into a lot more of these other videos and what have you. Before we close it out, though, I do want to bring up this because it is related to Disney, and you brought this to my attention. You want to explain what we're looking at here with Mickey and Minnie?
Oh God. Like I mean, I love the way that Disney has represented my culture. You know, like I was very happy of seeing that, but I feel like it kind of like, you know, like triggered other country with the, you know, they feel that they probably will feel that they you know, their culture has been appropriated, I guess. So in order for me to get detailed on that, all of the clothes that you're seeing right now is called hanbok, basically a traditional Korean outfit that you would see only in Korea. And now you have to understand, lunar, you know, Chinese people don't actually consider it as a Chinese Lunar New Year. They consider it Chinese New Year, and they believe that, you know, you know, Mickey and Minnie should have worn like a hanfu, which is also a Chinese traditional clothes outfit. So I've actually had a couple of Twitter, I mean X, you know, repost somebody saying like, I can't believe they use you know, Chinese like Korean outfit for Chinese culture, and then I was like, oh god, I like it's all over again, because back in EA Games, the Sims developers also did the pulled this exact same stunt where they used Korean traditional dresses and said Happy Lunar New Year, and the entire The Sims Chinese community had a huge backlash
Oh wow.
about how their, you know, like, you know, like their the Lunar New Year should have been called the Chinese New Year, and then the dress should have been Chinese, not Korean. So, you know, like I get that, you know, Korean, you know, outfits are very colorful, and, you know, and everyone loves K-pop and K-drama, so they probably will be like very all over it. But I know some people kind of like had a wrong assumption that this was Chinese, but you know, I just like corrected it. No, that's actually Korean, but you know, and not everyone's gonna know that. But
Yeah.
on the right side of that image, you will see Korean letters on the right side, and I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure about the left side. I think that is Chinese. I could be wrong, but yeah, that
Right
side is,
here.
yeah.
I believe that's Vietnamese, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh well, and then, well, that definitely will upset Chinese community a lot more. Then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I got this text from you the other day, and I'm like, you know what? That's interesting. That's very, very interesting, and not a lot of people would know that. So I'm glad you brought that, you know, to everybody's attention. That's very, very interesting. But Lucas, had a blast today. I love learning about this stuff. We'll definitely do another part to this series again, and I know we have more videos, so we'll pick like maybe one or two for the next time and react to those and kind of go through everything. But again, I want to thank you for sharing this with us today. Before we go, can you let everybody at home know where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky or X, known as it's Lucas Kim, and then also you can also find me on this YouTube channel, Lucas and Disney. I always hang out with these guys on the live chat most of the
Yes,
time.
absolutely, absolutely, Lucas. It's always good having you on, brother. And Mr. Italiano, if you could let everybody at home know where they can find you on social media, sir.
So you can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Disney George. You can also find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky under the Disney Italiano. And of course, you can find me right here on my home base on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner, with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info.
There he is, coming down below with all your thoughts on everything we discussed today. Links in the description down below. And until the next time, see you.
Thank you for watching OG55. If you aren't already, consider becoming a member today.